how's it going? I'm Angelo, and today I want to talk about spirituality, or rather, the evolved definition of it, or perception of it, a new perception that I've gained on it, that may be helpful for you to convey to someone or yourself who isn't quite in their spiritual chapters of their lives, or maybe in the beginnings, and they have questions and they want to know more about that side of reality. So basically, spirituality, the definition has really evolved into just knowing that all of reality is energy. And I think if we were to think of everything as energy, we would realize that that energy has spectrums. It has spectrums of non-physical to physical. And when I say non-physical, I'm talking about like everything from thoughts and intentions to feelings and emotions. Those are non-physical, but they are also energy. And of course, everything that is physical is energy. It has it has energy that has created it. So with that in mind, you have to kind of expand your definition of reality. It is more than what we see. It is more than what we experience here, with the inherent limitations of perceptions that our bodies have. We can only perceive a small spectrum of light that actually exists, and we know that that huge spectrum of light exists because we have tools that tells us so, that have observed it and can show it to us. And same with hearing, we know that we can only hear a certain spectrum of sound that actually exists, and again, we have tools that tell us so, that gives us the powers of observation and tell us that those things are there and those things are real. That goes with even touch. We can only feel in a certain spectrum of feelings. Because our bodies have inherent limits to them of what they can perceive. So this energy that creates everything comes from a source of a sea of energy, of an infinite vastness of energy, and that energy is in essence pure potential of creation. It creates anything and everything and transmutes and transforms into things we cannot even conceive of. It creates everything here. I mean, it creates the sky, creates the air, the planets, everything you could think of. And this physical reality that we perceive from this human perception, from this human angle, is but one tiny band of energy. That exists in a huge, gigantic spectrum of energy. Just as we can only see a certain band of light, we can only experience a certain band of energy. And this energy right now that you and I are experiencing is called physical reality. So with that in mind, this spectrum kind of really opens up the definition of reality. It opens it up to variations of frequencies and vibrations that we ourselves cannot perceive. Like I said, because of the limitations this body has, and the limitations of the tools we've made, and knowing and really trying to understand that the tools we have made really have widened our perception of reality in itself, but we have to realize that we don't have the tools, many of the tools to perceive more of the reality, more of the bigger picture of reality. So if we understood that that stuff exists outside of our perception, but we don't have the tools to perceive it yet, or the abilities to perceive it yet ourselves, it doesn't mean that it does not exist. When you look at discoveries that have expanded our perception of reality, most of them came through accidental discoveries, because we weren't looking for anything outside of our known box of reality at the time. By looking at something else, we came upon an accidental discovery that widened our perception of reality. And it's usually accidental because we cannot perceive something out of our box. It's very hard for us to do so. It's very hard for us to look for something that we don't know what to look for. So if we can keep an open mind about knowing that the box we're in, and knowing that the perception that we have of reality is always, we always think that it is all that there is, but there is always more. And if we can keep an open mind, we can always be open to new ways of discovering those wider perceptions of reality, or wider perceptions of energy spectrums. So this energy, this sea of vast energy, infinite energy, pure potential, it comes from this non-physical state, and through vibration, through frequency, it gives itself a distinction from another part of energy, of the same energy that is vibrating at a different frequency, and it gives it a distinction. It gives it the illusion of separation from itself. And now that illusion of separation gives it the illusion of separation, and it can interact with itself, and it can learn from itself through experiences of the interaction. And in a way, it kind of grows in itself. It grows through the experiences, and it creates through experiences, and transmutes into other things. And we see evidence of this transmutation or transmuting of energy every day in our lives, but it happens so naturally and so simply that we kind of take it for granted. For instance, we have plants who are transforming non-physical energy, sunlight, into physical energy, plant matter, and it grows and it blossoms and it seeds and dies and goes through the process. And we have the reverse process of humans or animals ingesting that plant matter and turning it into non-physical energy and using it for physical motion or what have you. Excuse my dog there, seeing something outside. But basically, this kind of leads into the idea that there is life after death if nothing is lost or gained. If energy is neither lost or gained, but rather transmutated, the energy essence of yourself, your consciousness, transmutes into something else when this body perishes. When the energy that created the matter of your body, and the energy that imbues the body with consciousness, all that gets transmuted into another spectrum of energy or another spectrum of reality. It does not get lost once again. So, and then it functions in that spectrum of energy. So when we speak about the idea of ghosts or other dimensions, this talk of spirituality, people really are just talking about other spectrums of energy. And some people really truly have the inherent abilities to perceive more of reality than other people. They are open to perceiving that reality. With the belief systems that we have, and knowing that the energy that belief has, or the energy that belief is made out of, that energy can be a blocking system to perceive other energies. So know that that your belief and your emotions, they are also energies, and those energies can become energies that block other energies from entering and perceiving. So always try to be open to perceiving more of what you don't understand, or just being open to understanding more. Once you have that intention in yourself, that belief system that, okay, this isn't all that there is, that kind of wall of energy that you've created with that belief system dissipates, and more perception of the reality comes in, more perception of the energy spectrum that you are in and that exists around you comes in. You get glimpses of it through intuition, through feeling energetic systems in your body, or seeing high vibrational, you could say, entities or consciousnesses. Some people can perceive these things. They have opened their minds and their hearts and brought down those walls of energy that block those things, and they can actually perceive that. Of course, you will have your bad apples that pretend that they have this ability, but and they kind of ruin that aspect for everyone. If especially if people are very skeptical and analytical, and and those abilities don't go across the board for everyone because they don't know quite how it works, quite have the understanding that everything is energy, including your belief systems and your emotions and your feelings and your thoughts. All these things really tie in and create the perception of energy around you. So like I said, just as there is only a spectrum of light that you can see with your human eyes, know that there is only that you are only experience a narrow band or a narrow spectrum of energy that exists infinitely. Energy is in all forms, in forms that we can't even conceive of. It creates entire universes out of this energy, and even those universes, those different universes or different realities, can be overlaid just on top of even our realities, but we cannot conceive them because this human body, this physical body, equivalent of non-physical energy of this body, can only perceive this spectrum of energy. It is only made to perceive physical physical reality, not the non-physical. And hopefully this idea or this angle on defining spirituality as knowing that everything is energy helps to convey this idea of spirituality. Because the world, the reality that we know, is so much bigger and so much more magical if you realize that everything is energy. And know that everything is energy. I mean, first of all, we have electricity, which is a form of energy, and we use it to power things, and food is a form of energy, and we use it to power ourselves, things that are organic. So know that there are other energies that we have not yet discovered, that is imbuing consciousness, organic things with consciousness, such as ourselves and animals and plants, things that are truly, without this energy, are inanimate objects, but with this energy animates inanimate things and creates the animate organism. Because really, when it comes down to it, you and I and animals and things, we're all a bunch of atoms, and those atoms are energy, and above that is just that we are muscle, blood, bones, teeth, hair, and that's it. Without that energy imbued in us to animate and come alive and interact and to grow, plants to grow and trees to grow, it's just stuff. So that energy is magic, in a way. It's magic because, lack of a better term, it's something we don't quite fully understand. So things outside of our comprehension seem to be magic. So hopefully this widens a little bit, or gives you more of an understanding what reality is. I know it's a lot to take in, so you may have to listen once again if this concept is kind of new. This is one of many perceptions about reality. I have another one, but I feel like this is pretty graspable for people who need to understand this side of reality, the spiritual side, the energetic side. And really, the energetic side also is inclusive of the scientific, physical, analytical side. And not to say that I am less analytical and skeptical now than I was before. Just to give you a little background, I was also a strong-headed atheist before I came into this chapter, and through many experiences that I've had that I was open to receiving, I am now fully kind of in this spiritual path and really giving life a new I've put on new goggles or either taken off goggles, and I see life differently. I see it way more magical and way more beautiful, and definitely under my command to create in whichever way I want, because experiences themselves, interactions with people, and those types of things are also energy. The energy that you emit through your thoughts and your beliefs are the experiences that you bring to yourself. So be wary of the things that you believe in through your upbringing, because those are limitations on what the spectrum of energy can create through experiences for you. All right, guys. Hopefully this helps. If you guys have any questions or anything like that, you want me to answer anything, I'd be glad to. Just put your questions in the comments below if you need clarification on it. Anything. Okay, guys. Many blessings and much love. We'll